important part of our body. Hairs, also known as villi, are the characteristics of mammals. They are basically composed of protein filaments that grows from the follicles, which is found in the dermis. Biomaterial which is composed of protein, notably keratin. So anyone can ask you, what is the component of the hairs? Hairs are basically composed of the protein, notably keratin. Let us discuss the functions of the hairs. Hairs not only provide us protection but also gives the control of the regulation of body temperature, and they also facilitate evaporation of perspiration. Hairs also acts as a sense organs. Now let us discuss the structure of hairs. Basically, hair structure is composed of two parts. First is the root part and another is the shaft part. Root part lies below the scalp. The hair root, the portion of the hair underneath the scalp surface, works with the other accessory organs such as dermal papillae, very important, hair bulb, arrector pili, and sebaceous gland, and the follicles in the formation of the hair. Whereas the shaft is that part which is above the epidermis. So we can simply divide the hair into two parts: below the epidermis, above the epidermis. Below the epidermis is the root part, above the epidermis is the shaft part. Below the root, it is basically composed of the hair bulb along with the follicles and work in proportion with the dermal papillae, hair bulb, arrector pili, and the sebaceous glands. And shaft is the appendage part above the epidermis. The dermal pili, that is the root part. Dermal pili basically contains the blood supply and the nerves that produces nutrients for the hair. So these are the vital nutrients which are needed in order for hair to have the adequate growth. The dermal papillae is shaped similar to a cone and sits inside the hair bulb. Now the hair bulb is another important factory producers. Why we call it the factory producers? Because it is located at the base of the hair strand and its shape is like a bulb. It acts as a cover for the dermal papillae. So it is located above the dermal papillae and it is the main part of the hair which gives rise to the new hairs, new growth, new division of the hair takes place into the bulb part. Pili. Although you must not have heard this term arrector pili, but you can recognize it by the word goosebumps. Arrector pili is a familiar hair factory worker. Its name is goosebumps. Why we call it goosebumps? Because this small muscle fiber lives in the bottom of the hair follicle. Now what happens in winters due to the changes in temperature or in case of the fear, the muscle fibers contract, making the hair stand straight up. This results in the goosebump which lasts for a few seconds. Another important structure is the presence of the sebaceous glands, which are actually the oil glands of the skin. These glands are connected to the hair follicle and secrete sebum, an oily substance that lubricates the hair. You must have seen there are different skin types, oily skin, dry skin. So accordingly, sebaceous gland secretes the oil, also known as the sebum. Next, we move on to the shaft part. The hair shaft is composed of three principal parts. First is the cuticle. Cuticle, as the name suggests, it is the outermost layer composed of overlapping scales. Cortex. Cortex is the middle part which is composed of the protein-rich structure around the medulla that contains the pigment. And third is the medulla, which is the central core. You can memorize it by saying CCM. First C for the cuticle, second C for the cortex, and last M for the medulla. CCM. Let's discuss about the cuticle. Now, cuticle is the hair's outermost layer which has shingles or scale-like cells that overlap. Now, the characteristics of the cuticle may be important in distinguishing between hairs of different species, but are often not useful in distinguishing between different people. What does that mean? That you can recognize the differences between different species of the people by the presence of the cuticle. Cuticle part is slightly different for different species. You must have seen the hairs are different. Some may have the curly hair, some may have the straight hair. So you can recognize by the cuticle by analyzing the cuticle part of the hair shaft. The cuticle varies in the scale. Now how you are going to differentiate between them? By measuring these three components: scales, thickness, and the pigment. Pigment is the substance, colored substance often present as the melamine, which imparts color to your hair. These cells work defensively to prevent damage to the hair's inner structure and to control water content of the hair fiber. So cuticle is very important part of the hair. It is the outermost layer. Now when we go to salons, when the hair get exposed to higher temperature conditions or due to heating devices or like different types of the accessories, when you go to the salons, so what happens, this cuticle parts get damaged. Since this is the outermost layer, it is more susceptible for damage when they are being used with different machines, different heating equipments. Next, we move on to the cortex part. Cortex part is the middle part. Cuticle is the outermost. After cuticle comes the cortex part, which is the middle part. It actually provides the strength, color, and texture of the hair. It is the most important part of the hair. The cortex again varies in three components. First is the thickness, texture, and color. Now the distribution of the cortex is perhaps the most important component in determining from which individual a human hair may have come. Now the microscopic examination can also reveal the condition and shape of the root and tip. Approximately 90% of the hair's total weight lies within the cortex. Elongated cells form a fibrous substance that gives strength and elasticity to the hair. So most of the volume of the hair is made up of the cortex part. 90% of the hair's total weight. And what does it provide? It provides the strength. It provides the elasticity to the hair. Now, as I have told earlier, the cortex also houses the pigment. Which pigment? Melamine. That gives hairs its natural color. So if anyone asks you what is the natural color of the hair, it is due to the presence of the pigment melanin. There are two types of the melanin that can be found in the cortex layer of the hair. First is the eumelanin. Now what is this eumelanin? Eumelanin produces brown and black color. And it is the most prevalent type of the melanin. So what is the most prevalent type of the melanin? Eumelanin, because it imparts a natural brown and black color. Another type of the melanin is the pheomelanin. Pheomelanin imparts yellow, blonde, red, and auburn hues. These are the other shades apart from the brown and the black color. So if anyone asks you what is the type of the melanin which provides the different colors apart from the brown or black color, it is simply the presence of the pheomelanin. Now, natural hair color, if someone asks you, is formed from a combination of pheomelanin and eumelanin ratio combined with the size and the number of the pigment granules. Gray hairs, please note, gray hairs have absence of melanin pigment in the cortex layer. Now, as the age progresses, the presence of gray hairs demarks that there is no melanin pigment inside the hair. Melanin is the pigment which imparts the color. Eumelanin is responsible for brown and black color. Pheomelanin imparts the yellow, blonde, red, and auburn hues. Next, we move to the last part of the shaft, that is the medulla. I have told the term CCM, cuticle cortex medulla. The medulla, also referred to as the pith or marrow of the hair. It is the innermost layer. The medulla may again vary in thickness, continuity, and opacity. It is composed of round cells. This layer is normally found in thick or coarse hairs. Naturally blonde and fine hair generally does not have medulla. This is the point to be noted. Naturally blonde and fine hair generally doesn't have the medulla part. This part is actually absent in such kind of the hairs. Like the cuticle, the medulla can be important for distinguishing between hairs of different species, but often does not lend much important information because of the differentiation between hairs of different people. So the people having blonde or fine hair does not have the medulla. So now you can simply recognize the structure of hair with a pencil. The outer color of the pencil will indicate the cuticle part. The central wooden part will be represented by the cortex, and the lead part will be represented by the medulla region. Now let us know some interesting facts about the hair. As I have told earlier, hair is composed of the protein keratin, which is also the primary component of finger and toenails. So apart from the hair, finger and toenails are also composed of the keratin part. Now human develops hair follicles during fetal development, and no new hair follicles are produced after birth. So the type of the hairs is pre-decided before the birth. Hair color is mostly the result of the pigments, which are chemical compounds that reflect certain wavelengths of visible. The improper use of tools such as heat, excessive manipulation, and chemical overprocessing can cause damage to the cuticle layer of the hair. It can also weaken the integrity of the hair. Now, hair shape and texture is influenced heavily by the genes. The physical appearance of hair can be affected by the nutritional status and intentional alteration like heat curling, perms, and straightening. The, all of you know that women undergoes different types of the hair treatment, maybe heat curling, maybe perms, maybe straightening. This affects the cuticle part of the hair. The cuticle parts get damaged. We are going to discuss about the types of the hair. First is the lanugo hair. Now, what are the lanugo hair? Lanugo hairs basically develops on an unborn baby. That means before the birth of the baby, the whole body of the baby is surrounded by very fine hairs, thousands in number, which automatically goes after 3 months. Baby is born. When the baby becomes of the age of 3 months, these hairs are automatically lost. So they are very fine and soft hairs on the baby before the birth, and grows all over the body at the same rate, and it is automatically shed after 4 weeks before the baby is due to be born. So lanugo hair means the hairs very fine and soft hairs present on all over the body of the baby before the birth. Vellus hair. Now, vellus hairs are recognized by the presence of short, fine, downy, unpigmented hair covering most of the body except the palms and the soles of the feet. Now, women normally retain 55% more vellus hairs than the men, and these follicles doesn't have the oil gland. Third type of the hair is the terminal hair. These are characterized by the presence of long, thick, pigmented hair which is found on the scalp, legs, arms, and bodies of males and females. They are basically coarser than the vellus hair, and with the exception of gray hairs, it is pigmented. They are produced by follicles with a sebaceous gland. So now you are clear about the structure of the hair, you are clear about the types of the hair. Now let us try to understand the drugs which have been recognized and approved for the growth of the hair. There are basically two drugs which are known for having high impact on the hair growth. First is the minoxidil and second is the finasteride. These are the only two drugs which are found and which are being approved to be successful to increase the hair growth. So in my next lecture, I would be discussing about the different stages of hair growth. Please do keep watching the videos. Please do like, subscribe and share, and also provide your views in the comment box. Thank you so much.